Hello. So, this is the Pacifist run, and, yeah. Okay, so if you have not watched the Introduction to Pacifist Run video, I highly suggest you do that before starting this challenge, and if you're not going to be starting this challenge, I recommend you watch that video anyway, so that you understand the rules of the challenge. I mean, if you're just here to watch, that's fine. It's probably going to be entertaining anyway. Now, before we get started, I just want to say quickly, I had already recorded this about a week ago, but all of that footage corrupted. So I not only had to re-record everything and re-edit everything, I also had to delete my old character and world and start a new one. Although, I can promise I did get past Skeletron. So, at least I know that's possible now. It's not like it's not possible. It's practically the same fight. But yeah, let's get started. Right, so the first thing you want to do, like, basically immediately when you spawn in, is to start building a house. Basically, you want to have this done by nightfall, because the only thing you're allowed to kill in the nighttime are demon eyes, and you can't kill anything else. You can't kill the slimes, you can't kill the zombies, and the zombies will definitely be overrunning you if you don't have a house by nightfall. So build one at your spawn point, obviously, so that if you magic mirror or recall potion, you're not immediately in danger again from where you are. And as shown here, if you need gel for torches for like NPCs to move in and stuff, you can't kill the slimes, however, the guide will probably end up killing some for you. And there's nothing you can do about that, so just use it to your advantage. So there are a few things I would like to say here. First things first, just so I won't have to say this later, the goal of this episode is to defeat Skeletron. That is going to unlock the dungeon and a few NPCs. Killing Skeletron, I mean, it's not the hardest of things, and also seeing as I already defeated him in a previous Pacifist world, I do have a good idea as to how I'm going to do this. But yeah, once your house looks like this, basically just some form of house that an NPC can move into, that's good enough. You can leave it for now. Or if you want to build a little bit more so that more NPCs can move in later, that's fine. But once you get to around this point, just wait out the night, because it's probably nighttime for you as well. And maybe go mining. You're gonna need a furnace and an anvil at the very least, so try to get that done. I'm just gonna remind you to do all the things that you normally do, like collect fallen stars, collect any loot from the caves, like gold chests and stuff that you find. For example, I found a magic mirror off camera, you can probably tell. And as I struggle to perfect an NPC house symmetry thing, it turns out it actually was like a 2-block center instead of a 1-block center, which ruined the whole thing, and I ended up fixing that later. But anyway, you'll notice that I've put a workbench on either side of the doors of the bottom level of the house. And this is actually a trick I found. This actually helps with blood moons and just any kind of enemy that opens doors. Apparently, anything that opens doors, they only know to open the door inwards. And the door will open inwards inside the house. But if you put something there, obviously the door can't open. And for some reason, they don't know to open the door outwards instead. So then they never open the door outwards, which means if you block something from opening the door inwards, then they just won't open the door at all. But you can still open the door outwards because your character's, just smart. It's really weird, but it works. Trust me. I've done this before many times. So we got the merchant and the nurse. Not exactly who I was hoping for. I was kind of hoping for the demolitionist. But this does mean that the merchant will still sell a forest pylon, which will be pretty handy. We don't have to do some weird NPC shenanigans now. Basically, You just want to get the merchant because once you get the merchant, you no longer have to let the guide kill slimes for you because he sells torches. And I was hoping for the demolitionist so I could get bombs. This obviously is not going to be for everyone, but in my case, all of my corruption is on the right side of the world. I don't know this yet, but this is me editing Xorkent, recording audio to narrate what's happening. So, future me, I do know what happens. But all of the corruption is on the right side of the world. There is no corruption at all on the left side of the world. That's probably going to change in hard mode. But what that means is, for the time being, I can mine a elevator to the right side of my base, and the bombs create enough distance between the blocks to make it so that the corruption cannot spread to the other side of the world, which is pretty convenient. Oh yeah, and in this clip also I found a gem tree, so if you find a gem tree, just try and get the gem corns from it and create like a little small farm, because you're gonna need some gems for a gem hook, and also a gem staff. I would recommend getting the ruby staff if you're on a gold world, or the diamond staff if you're on a platinum world, because those are the strongest gem staffs there are. We're going to be switching classes a lot during this pacifist run, since we're so restricted in terms of weapons and what we're allowed to get. So that's going to happen a lot. So just get a lot of mana, get a lot of bullets, arrows, get a lot of everything, because we're going to be using quite a lot of it often. Quite a bit happened in this clip. The traveling merchant arrived and sold the lifeform analyzer, and that's actually going to be useful despite not being able to kill many of the things we'll be detecting now, but we will be able to detect stuff like the mechanic when she's tied up in the dungeon, the wizard, and the goblin, of course. Later in this clip, actually, the demolitionist came, so I bought some bombs from him, traveled over to the corruption, or at least right in front of it, and started my elevator, which will be completed by the next clip. By now I had a platinum pickaxe, and when you get a platinum pickaxe or gold, you want to start to think about getting some demonite. There isn't much we can use demonite for, but we can use it to craft the lightsbane and a demon bow, which we will use against Skeletron. And here I did something completely unnecessary, but something that will also help later on. I placed a door down because skeletons actually cannot open doors, and obviously bats can't either. So this is just a quick way to block enemies from going into like too many places to chase you, and it also allows for you to continue going through those places. It doesn't block your path. Alright, honestly, I had a lot more footage to show you, but it's really nothing important. It's just me getting a ton of accessories and life crystals and stuff. So, I mean, you all probably know what to do by now. Get platinum, demonite, whatever. So, I'm gonna skip very far ahead, so don't be surprised if I have a lot more life and some good accessories and whatnot. Big jump cut! Now, there are a few things I would like to talk about regarding the painter. The painter, if you didn't know, he likes the jungle, and he really likes the dryad. And since the witch doctor will not be here at all, since we're not killing Queen Bee, the painter is gonna be our ticket to the pylon, because obviously, we're gonna get the dryad by killing Skeletron. So we move the painter and the dryad to the jungle. That's how we get the jungle pylon. So, just in case you were wondering if we can still do pylons, yes we can. But anyways, I'm going to show you how you can set up your own artificial fishing pond. It's very simple, and trust me, you are going to need this later. So first, dig up a 15 by 20 space somewhere close to your base, I would suggest, just for the convenience. Then place a U shape like this and hammer one of the blocks, and then get a water bucket, and then just basically hold your mouse over the hammered block and just hold down the place button. It's pretty simple, really. And then just do that. You can, like, as I've done here, actually, I literally just left a heavy book on my mouse to keep it going. You can do anything while this is filling up, because trust me, it's gonna take a while. And yeah, it's gonna be nice, trust me, to have this. You can do whatever you want to your pond. I just put a platform and a little safe box over mine so that if I'm fishing during a blood moon, nothing will happen to me. And yeah. So here you see me trying to pass the corruption for the first time. It really didn't go well. I was trying to avoid the Eater of Souls as best I could, trying not to hit them, and yeah, didn't end up going well. As you can see, it was very painful. And I was trying to think of how I could possibly get across, because the dungeon is over there. And then I remembered, you're allowed to kill them. The Eater of Souls and the Devourers, those little worm guys, those are like a couple of the very few enemies that you're actually allowed to kill. So, I did. Oh man. Oh, I'm such an idiot. Why didn't I remember that? I came up with that rule. Why did I not remember that? You know? So I got a bed and I put it at my jungle base so that, I can just set my spawn there. But I would like to point out this bat that has low health. Obviously, I hit it. And I would like to talk about something here. Obviously, you're going to make a couple mistakes along the way. There's no avoiding that. You're gonna be mining, and then a worm's gonna come, and you're accidentally gonna hit that. That can't be avoidable. That's inevitable. The occasional slip is okay. Just try your best not to kill anything. Okay, now this clip comes to a very good point. I would like to talk about traps, especially explosive traps. Now, in this clip, I came across a ginormous vein of platinum ore, which is perfect because I was looking to get the platinum armor, which costs 75 platinum bars, which takes 300 ores to make. However, I, I knew that since there was such a big vein of platinum here, there was probably an explosive trap up the top. And sure enough, I was right. Now, these things can kill you in one hit, especially this early on in the game. So just be super, super cautious when disarming. You can either mine the explosives or you can mine the detonator itself, although that is much, much riskier. I would say go with the safe bet, mine the explosives, and then mine the detonator. You really, really do not want to mess anything up here. Also, yeah, by the way, you should be aiming to get gold or platinum armor. It's very expensive. As I said, it takes 75 gold or platinum bars to make, which is 300 types, or 300 ores of either gold or platinum. You're gonna need it for Skeletron, just trust me on that. So at this point, you want to start thinking about your Skeletron fight. Start building your arena, and if you don't know what a proper Skeletron arena should look like, just follow along with what I'm doing here. Build a platform or two, a pretty long one, you know, and when you're fighting Skeletron, just move back and forth around it. I would recommend building a second platform above this first one, so that you can use your hook to, maneuver above Skeletron if you really have to. It's just good to get out of some sticky situations. Skeletron fight is pretty straightforward. It's pretty much the same as a normal Skeletron fight. You have, I guess, slightly worse gear, but it is definitely manageable. It's definitely going to be much easier to pull off than the Pacifist Wall of Flesh. Trust me on that, okay? But something I want you to take note of is, do not do what I did here. Use your hook. You do not want to get a bad start to the fight, okay? Trust me. But other than that, it is fairly simple. It's literally the same fight. Alright, now that Skeletron is down, that concludes this episode. I will see you all later. I hope you had a good time. Yeah. You can leave now. Yeah. Bye. Goodbye. See you later. Okay, I'm gonna end the video now. Bye.